my God. Oh my God. We always like the beginning of the life, right?
It
This
never
is so
gets old.
exciting. It never gets old. Okay.
No.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us from all over the world. Or if you're watching the live or watching the replay, we are happy to see you.
Hello.
Okay. So if you are familiar with our lives is all about spirituality. If you're familiar, welcome back. If you're not familiar with our life is all about spirituality, how it relates
Hmm.
to the relationships you have with yourself and with others. And we talk about all the emotional stuff, people pleasing, needing external validation, low self-esteem, and all the things that we had like in childhood. And sometimes even we bring it to adulthood, right? It's
Oh,
just
yes.
part of the journey. It's just part of the journey. So this is your safe place. Go ahead and you can ask questions and we can talk about everything and anything as long as it's legal. Okay? So, okay, Money, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm two thumbs up. I'm rocking. I'm rolling. We're good. Let's do
Purplish.
this.
Purplish. Yes. Okay, so today's topic, are you feeling emotional ups and downs? Do you sometimes feel like you're on a emotional roller coaster? Happy one moment and down the next moment, right? You are not alone because many of us, yeah, like waves. Many of us, like we actually chase happiness, right? Thinking it will last forever, but often it comes and goes in waves, like waves, right, Manny? What do you think
Oh,
about
this is
this
true.
topic?
So I know you liked this when I mentioned it the other night. So if you back this out like big picture, I mean big picture, everything has a natural ebb and flow to its pattern,
Yes,
to its existence. You can take it right out to the universe, you can bring it right down to the tiniest particles, the molecules and everything that everything exists from. It vibrates, it comes forth, it goes back, comes forth and goes back. It's not a constant all the time. And so we, by extension, our bodies, our existence mimics this. It's natural, it's expected.
right. Because everything in the universe is duality, up
Hmm.
and down,
Yes.
sadness, happiness, right, left. Like everything, it's duality. But our job is actually to find the middle ground, right? To be really neutral, right? I think that Shakespeare. I like this quote. Nothing neither good or bad, but thinking make it so, right?
Yes, this is
Because
true.
it's yes, it's all about the perception and the interpretation that you give to the event, right?
Yes.
Hi
Yeah.
everyone.
So Dora Joe is talking about Timbit here in the background. He's watching. He's making sure everything
Yeah,
is kosher in the backyard. So
right,
the cart
right.
the
And
cart
go
go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead. Okay, so you know what? Oh, so feeling what does it mean when you feel emotional ups and downs? Right? It can be really exhausting, and you actually wait for an external event to make you happy, right? Aren't we all do it from time to time? Let's admit it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how spiritual evolved you are or how much inner work you've done. We all sometimes fall into the trap of needing external validation, right? Of
Exactly.
so,
Eh,
and that's why, so we start to give meaning to different experiences, right? And then we start to experience those up and downs, right? Because it's all about the meaning we give it. Something like didn't go as planned. Oh my God, it means that, right? So
Yes.
we give meaning according to the meaning we feel emotions, and therefore we live like experience those ups and downs, right, Manny?
Exactly.
So you know what? I watched like the other day like Eckhart Tolle video. Eckhart Tolle is the writer of The Power of Now, and he said, you know what? Like if everything like good in your life, like a finance, relationship, health, just wait a little. because it's not going to stay that way. And so if you are also experience the negative stuff, it's also not going to stay that way, right? Everything like
That's the
it's
truth.
fleeting, right? But the problem begins when we link our self-worth, or when we link our state of being, or our happiness on and joy. We are linked to external experiences, right? And we feel the
Hmm.
emotion like accordingly, right? And there's a difference between happiness and joy, and we are going to talk about it in this life. So, what do you think, Marnie?
Oh, this is, I mean, again, a lot of our topics I think are really like well timed. I think it's things that people need to, either they've been thinking about it and they're questioning if they're the only ones that are thinking this way, or they're at a point in their becoming that they can actually just examine what it is that
Right,
is in their lives, sort of thing. So a lot of people think they have to chase joy or chase happiness, and there's a difference here that even
yes,
Lamore just taught me yesterday, because I used to think happiness and joy are the same things, but apparently they are
right.
not. Lamore, go for it.
So, what is happiness? Happiness is usually is external, and it's temporary, and it's outcome dependent, right? When I receive this, I will be happy, right? Right?
Hello.
So, yeah, so this is outcome dependent, right? And it depends on circumstances, right? Achievements, or this person said that to me, or whatever, right? And happiness, it doesn't matter, like, I said it. I said we talked yesterday, and I told you, and I said it before. If you are like if you are a person that you have like problem with uh, being happy, or being like in a neutral state of being, or so if you're not, and we explain the difference between happiness and joy. So if you are not like your state of being is not happiness, joy, you don't feel at peace, you won't feel those emotions even after you get what you want. Maybe you will, but it will be temporary, and it's not going to be sustainable, and you're going to go back to your set point, right? So if you
Hmm.
are unhappy before you get your desires and goals, you're going to stay unhappy after you receive your desires and goals, right? And you're like, no, no, no,
Exactly.
it's not true. I'm going to be like completely okay. So you're going to be happy or whatever for 2 weeks, 1 month, and then it's going to become normal to you. And then when it's normal, you're like, okay, so what's next, right? It doesn't excite me anymore. So what's the difference between happiness and joy? Happiness, it's like I said, it's external and it's outcome dependent, right? And joy comes from within. The
Yes.
source is your inner state of being. The source is not external, right? It's not like you are not dependent on external events for you to feel joy. And you can feel joy and not be happy. Think about it, because joy is like a state of being, of neutrality. You feel at peace, right? You feel relaxed.
It's
You feel like
contentment.
yeah, contentment, a sense of contentment. So you can feel those emotions because it's a state of being, right? You can feel those emotions, if I can call it emotions, feelings maybe, right? And not be
Yes.
like happy and joyful, right? Because if you are really, really happy and joyful all the time, you can be this way all the time, right? But if it's a state of being, of feeling joy, so you can feel it like most of your days, right? So I can give you example what joy is. You wanted to give you example, Mani?
Give me number one.
Yeah. So for example, like when I went through my spiritual awakening, and I went through dark night of the soul, and when you've been through dark night of the soul, you feel like emotionally like drained, and you feel like alone, and you feel like your whole world start to crumble. So I started to practice mindfulness and being present in the moment, right? So of course, and when you are present, also you are more grateful, right? Because whatever it is right now, it's okay, right? You accept the present moment. You don't need anything. You are not less anxious. You are less thinking about the future or the past. So I practice it day in, day out. So in time is going to compound, right? And then your
Exactly.
all energy is going to shift. So one day I just like said, after I practiced a lot of like months of mindfulness and being present, and I just started to cry, like tears of joy, like, oh my God, I'm so happy just to exist, just to experience whatever I'm experiencing right now. I'm grateful
Hmm.
for my health, for all the things that people just take for granted. So I had like happiness, sorry, happiness. I had just tears of joy, right? So there's a difference. It's a state of being. It's a state of being grateful. It's a state of being content. It's a state of being of acceptance of the present moment, right? Whatever you experience, right? Even it's what you call negative, right, Marnie? So
It's a
what are you
detachment.
experiencing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
So what do you think
So
about joy and happiness?
it's super cool to have basically, so here's a description, because like I said, I used to, okay, so joy and happiness are the same thing. It just depends on how you on how you perceive it or express it, sort of thing. But here
Right.
we find out, and it's true, like when you get happy about stuff, it's usually because something external has happened. So it's like it's event derived, sort of thing. It's an attainment. Whereas joy is, it's an actual state of being. It's a being content, it's a being detached, it's an acceptance of what is, sort of
Right.
thing,
And
and whatever it is that's around you. So yeah,
right.
that's a
So
great thing.
why do we feel like those emotional ups and downs? Because chasing happiness, right, from outside sources make us emotional unstable. Because think about it, you can't really live like this. You are anxious about, oh, whether I receive this validation, whether I receive this goal, whether I attain this desire that I have, right? So in your state of being, like you miss the mark. Why do you miss the mark? Because when you, just like I said, the universe is just one big copying machine.
Copying
So
machine,
when you
yeah.
want, yeah, copying machine. So when you want something, to see something externally, actually the external world is just a reflection of your inner being, right? So you
Yeah,
can't really wait for the external world to change. If you want to change the external world, it has to go through you first,
you have to
because
start it in,
it
you
has
have to
to
start
come.
it in you. Yes.
Exactly. You are the source. You are the source, right? So actually so your state of being is basically projected out. And then you see the outer experiences. So if you are in a constant state of being, of wanting, of anxiousness, or of outcome dependent, or I will be happy when I receive that. So you will never going to receive it, just because the universe is reflecting your inner being. So think about it. We have like different versions of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So the version of yourself, Mani, that already has her desires, is definitely uh, not the same as the version of herself that's sitting like anxious and wanting and
Hmm.
desiring. Oh, when is it going to come? Right? And full of doubt. Because when you have the thing, you're a completely different version of yourself. That's why letting go is so powerful, because when you let go, you also let go of the resistance and the ups and downs.
So here's
So
the
what do you
thing.
think,
So,
Valerie?
okay. So anytime we chase something, the I mean, even the word chase is, it's
Right.
basically, it sets you, it puts you in this mindset of, I don't have it, I need to acquire it, I have to go after it. Well, the opposite of chasing is, things that are being chased elude you, sort of thing. It's like saying you're never going to get
Exactly.
it as long as you're chasing it. So if you're chasing happiness, that's not the wrong, it's not the right mindset to have. Basically, nothing really likes being chased. Chase is being chased is a, it's a repelling state,
Repelling.
basically. Yes.
It's like a
So
magnet, right? It, it's like a
exactly.
magnet.
So there's a super cool meme that talks about, actually, about people and cats, sort of thing. So if you go to chase a cat, the cat will run away from you, right? It wants to get away. But if you have what the cat wants, you attract it to you, sort of thing. That's a really simple way to put it. And the meme was
Yeah,
super
but
cool.
I'll give you another analogy. Another analogy. If the cat
Mhm.
or the dog chases its own tail, the cat thinks that it needs to get the tail, but it doesn't know that the tail is already is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what happens when they catch
It,
it? They're like, "Oh, okay, I'm dropping this."
yeah, and and it's a paradox because this is a paradox because we chase things, but we don't know that we already have them. So
Mhm.
how do we already have them? Because when we want something, right? It's not we don't really want the thing. We want the emotion that is related to the thing. We want to feel the emotion. So this
Mm.
emotion you can make yourself feel this emotion right now. And if you feel this emotion, the paradox, right? If you feel this emotion first, then you're going to attract what you want. It's not the other way around. You need to
Yes.
evoke those emotions from within. Call it to fake it or whatever, right? You need to evoke those emotions from within, right? And then when you are feeling those emotions, then you're going to see shift in your outer reality, right? Because, like,
Exactly.
I already talked about it. When you feel like all incomplete, why do you attract, when you feel like you don't need anything, why do you attract everything? Because when you feel contentment, like you said, you feel all and complete. So the universe is saying, yes, you are all and complete, right?
Right? So here you
And
go.
yeah,
It's
I've
weird.
got
It's the
everything I
exact
need right
opposite.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got everything I need right here. I'm complete. And then there you go. But when I feel, oh, I'm lacking this, I'm not, I don't feel all and complete unless I have this thing. So the universe, yeah, you don't feel like all and complete. So there you go, right? So if
Exactly.
you
That's how
want,
it goes.
the universe will give you more want. But if you just drop this and like I've done everything I could or whatever. I'm content. I don't need anything external or outside of myself. Then you're going to receive everything, right? And we all know times when we wanted things, like sometimes it took us like years wanting a like certain like experience or a person or whatever. And then like after a few years, you know what? I don't need it or F this. And then what happened? You receive this or something better, right?
Exactly.
So, and another thing that the spiritual community, right, when you start to be aware of your emotions and feelings, so the spiritual community, there's like state of being of like fear, I think, that if I'm going like to have like a negative thought or if I'm going to feel like ups and downs, I'm not going to receive what I want. I'm going to mess up to mess up my reality. Or if we are in the manifestation community, I'm not going to receive what I wanted. Oh my god, I can't feel sadness. You can be depressed. Oh my God, oh my God. No, no, no. And you know what? I used to be like this also, you know? And, even now from time to time, I catch myself, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So it's all
Yep,
about the awareness.
exactly.
So it's a trap that people fall into, like that you're not allowed to be sad, or you're not allowed to feel down, or you're not allowed to feel ups and downs. This is just part of the flow of life, right? Again,
Exactly.
you're not supposed to sit in those emotions for for weeks or months, right? Unless you're going through the dark night of the soul, then you have no control over it. But right, so let yourself feel those emotions, let yourself feel those ups and downs, and it's not going to ruin your reality. It's not going to ruin your manifestations and your goals, right? On the, even it's just going to actually, a lot of the time we manifest things when we stop wanting them, when we feel down. Because you know what? Because your
Mhm.
focus is elsewhere, right? When your focus
Exactly.
is elsewhere, you are not so obsessed, you are not so attached, right, to the thing. You just let it go, then it can start to flow into your reality, right? So w- don't take it so seriously. If you feel those ups and downs, it doesn't mean that something is wrong, or things are going to be like this, like all the time, right? So, Marnie, how do we
Exactly.
shift from happiness to joy?
So, as we've been talking about here, we want to focus not on the exterior of ourselves, but on the interior. So, we want to shift our focus from chasing happiness on the outside, basically, to
Exactly.
create to, basically keep generating it
Inner alignment.
from the yeah, from doing the inner work sort of thing. I'm sorry, my brain is just like, "Mer." But
Yeah,
so focusing on the inner alignment rather than the external rewards sort of thing, and the external
right,
rewards is the chasing happiness, basically, that
right.
creates that woo, 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 woo. It's relying on that kind of chasing happiness thing. That's where you get the emotional roller coaster going on, because yeah. And like they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You keep chasing happiness, but it's in different forms and it keeps eluding you until you just fall to a certain point where you're like, okay, you know what? F it. I'm okay. Either way, I'm here. I'm content. I've got what I've got.
Exactly,
I'm thankful for what I have. And when you create that detachment sort of thing, now you create the space for what can bring you joy, what can bring you happiness, to be able to enter into your existence. So, and also
exactly,
comparing, the practice gratitude for the small everyday things. Just take a few moments and notice the things that are around you. There are things that you have acquired, things that you have been given, life forms that you look
exactly.
after.
I always say, I always say that gratitude is a technique.
It is.
Gratitude, it's not being nice or being polite. Oh, thank you for the sun. Thank you for the air, babe. Thank you. Oh,
Mhm.
thank you. No, 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 no. Gratitude is a technique. Why? Because I'm going to repeat it again and again, because this has transformed my life. Because when you are grateful, when you say thank you, it's usually when you receive something, right? When
Yep.
someone is doing like an extra service or whatever. So you say thank you and you feel the emotions of, oh my God, I just received it, it's just happened, right? So if you are going to feel those emotions, this is one of the powerful technique to evoke those emotions beforehand, before you receive what you want, right?
Yep.
And this is
Exactly.
how it works. How it works. It comes from within. You can get things if you chase them, but it's not going to last forever, and it's not going to make you happy for a long time, and it's not going to be sustainable. Whether when you focus first on within, right, when you focus internally, then you're going to
Yep.
see you're going to be like a magnet to everything you ever wanted, right? Do you know this like cool guys when you have like in high school? like the cool guys, they don't need anything, like, and all the girls are like chasing them or whatever, right? And they're like cool, just looking at it, like, and
Yep.
right? They look like cool. They don't need anything. They don't want anything. And this is what actually makes them magnetic, right? So if you want to be magnetic to your desires and goals, right? And to be magnetic in your reality, it has to come from within. I'm sorry, maybe
Again,
it's not what you want to hear, right? Because a lot of the
it,
time, oh no, Limo, no, you don't understand. When I receive this, I'm going to be content and happy and joyful and everything. No, because you have like an inner set point, right? So
yeah,
if your inner set point is like, you know, ungrateful or depressed, or I'm not saying that it's wrong to feel those emotions, it's just not something that is going to be beneficial for you in the long
it's
run, right?
it's something to pass through, not to hold on to or to operate from.
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. So actually, this is going to serve you because when you work on your inner energy, you have like a contentment whether you receive your desires or not. And when you have this inner contentment, most likely you are going to receive what you wanted. Most likely, right? Because it's just a reflection. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm telling you, sometimes it can take for years. You all done. I just made a video about letting go, and I made this example. Sometimes we all done for years. We refuse to let go. We refuse to let go, and then we let go, and then what happened? We received what we wanted, right? Or received something better,
Right?
and then you're telling yourself, you know what? The only thing that I needed to do is just to let go. Right? And
Yep.
another thing that you ask yourself, when I needed it, where was it? But now I don't need it. You give it to me, universe.
It is always, all things are always right beside you, right, waiting to come into your existence. But you have to put yourself in that correct receiving mode, in the correct vibration. It's giving thanks for things before they ever show up in your life, as if they're
Right.
already in your life. It's everything again
Exactly.
that we've been taught is a complete and total 180 to what is actually true. And this isn't woo woo new age stuff. If you take a look at a lot of the quantum realities, the quantum mechanics, all the research that and science and testing that are being done on these theories, it points to your mind shapes your reality moment by moment, sort
Exactly.
of thing. Everything vibrates on a frequency in the universe. And Albert Einstein, I believe it was Einstein that said basically, vibration energy is all there is, and that's all there is to it. So match the vibration of whatever it is that you want, and you can't help but attract that into your life. This isn't it,
Exactly.
it's quantum
So
mechanics. And
actually,
yeah,
if
sorry.
someone asks me, how do I feel less? I don't want to feel those ups and downs. It's okay to feel like occasionally, but I don't want to feel like a lot of ups and downs, right? So focus on cultivating like inner daily joy, right? Rather
Hmm.
than chasing external events, people, or experience, start to be aware, right? And to get your like happiness and your like, if you want to feel like happy in this moment, from what already existing in your reality, right? So a lot of the time when I was feeling like down and really like out, you know what I used to do? Like if I were passing through like flowers outside or a tree, I just talk to the flowers. Oh, you're so beautiful,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like find it sounds cheesy and cliche. Find the beauty with your current reality.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, here we're just going to recap here for a second. If you chase a cat runs away. If you have what the cat wants, the cat is attracted to you. It's everything operates on that same principle. It's you need to attract in, not chase. If you're chasing happiness, you attract joy. You attract more things to have joy and be happy about, sort of thing. So the don't compare your life to anybody else's. Everyone is on an individual path, individual journey, and their life may look perfect from where you're standing and looking at it, but
Right.
believe me, they've had every single doubt and, sadness and anger and jealousy and all of these things that they have had to work through as well to get to where they are, sort of thing. Like everybody's on your own path, on their own path. Yours is not theirs. Ergo, you cannot compare your path to anybody else's, sort of thing, because
Exactly.
comparison is the thief of
It's the
joy.
thief of
Now,
joy.
yes, exactly. So, if you like to journal, just anytime you would notice an emotion coming up or whatever, go ahead and jot it down somewhere. Keep an emotional journal. When you recognize the emotions, you just let them pass through you and you release them. Remember, we're not meant to hold on to emotions ourselves or anybody else's. It's supposed to be
Exactly.
a temporary, momentary thing that we feel because we're meant to feel, and then we just need to let it
Exactly.
go. Let it go.
Or even if
So,
you try, yes, good, good.
oh, I was going to say, surrounding yourself with people that hold a similar or a higher level of vibration or energy, that just like attracts like. When you hang out with people who are of a higher energy, higher vibration than you are, basically you are uplifted, you are brought up, and that also helps to take you on the path in your journey. And avoid over chasing happiness through social media, shopping, or approval. This includes FOMO, the fear of missing out. What is meant for you will never ever pass you by. So
Exactly.
there's never
And
no
if it
fear.
will, it will come back to you.
Yes. Yep. Yeah,
If you
exactly.
so-called
So
miss your opportunity, you didn't really miss your opportunity. It's going to come back, but in a
mhm,
different form, right?
exactly. Exactly. So it's
Like,
all it's all a work in progress. Honestly, it is
right,
100%. It's all a work in progress, and don't be harsh on yourself for things that you feel you missed, or that my life will never
exactly,
be the same again. Let's have a little joy that it might not be the same again, because we think it's never going to be as good as it was. Well, how about this to twist your brain a little bit? It doesn't mean it can't be better than you ever imagined. Ever.
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of your
We
best
just
days
can
are
see it.
still ahead of you. They're still ahead of
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. And you know that, and you know what? When we feel those ups and downs, another thing not to do is to try to run away from it or
Sit with
try
it.
to distract yourself with other things, right? Just
Yeah.
not to feel this emotion, right? It's okay to watch the movies or to go shopping or whatever, but not as a distraction or something, like not as a mechanism of self avoidance, right? Because we
Yes.
don't want to avoid ourselves because we're scared what we're going to find there, right? We're going to find a lot of shadows that we don't really want to face, right? So it's not really comfortable for us to face them. So for us, it's just better for us to focus on external thing, just to receive a dopamine from social media or
Mhm.
whatever, not really doing the inner work. And it's not a lot of work. You just,
It's not.
just like you said, just let those emotions and ups and downs go through you. I promise you, if you feel down, it's not going to last forever. And if you feel up,
Mhm.
it's not going to last forever. Right? It's like, it's like when you drink alcohol, right? You feel like excited and high, but what happens afterwards, a day after? You are hangover, right? You're hangover. You feel down. So this
Yeah.
is just part of life. So accept the downs as you accept the ups. But the real goal is it's not the feeling happy, feeling sad. It's to find a state of being that is like neutral and a state of being of contentment. And you can call it joy, right? When you feel at peace most of the time. And of course, if you want to feel at peace, it's about practicing being present and practicing mindfulness because our mind is mostly in the past or in the future. So when you practice being in this present moment, you actually start to um, experience more joy. Because when you're in the future, you are anxious. When you're in the past, you have regrets, right? You
Hmm.
have guilt. You're feeling guilty sometimes. But when you are present, this is the true joy. I'm telling you, and it's weird
Present
for us
in
to
the now,
experience. Exactly.
right now, like right now. Yeah.
And it's
Why waste your energy thinking, worrying about things that have already gone, that you've already gone through, it's already in the past, sort of thing. You can't you can revisit it, and there are people that live their entire lives back there, never thinking that the
yes,
best things are ahead of them, sort of thing. So, yeah, recognizing the moments and recognizing the emotions that you may be feeling in that moment, depending on what the external stimuli is, be it seeing a picture of somebody that that you used to love in your family, or a pet that's passed away, or an object that you wanted to have in your life, sort of thing. It's Don't waste the time regretting that you didn't do something then, because
right,
then is gone. The power is in the now, sort of thing. So
right. And you know
don't
what?
live
And
your
you know what?
life don't live your life back there. Don't
Exactly.
live your life in the future. Enjoy the now and watch the magic happen. Seriously, it's
Like
totally
every moment
awesome.
is a precious moment that will never go back.
This is true.
Even if you're doing the mundane things, right? Right?
Exactly.
So, and you know what? And a lot of the time it's weird for us. It requires an energy shift, and an energy shift, it's just practicing being present day in and day out. So, but it's weird because when we are feeling excuse me, joy for no reason, our mind will jump in and say, no, 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 no. But you don't have a reason to be happy, right?
That's where you say, you know what? I have every reason, even if they're very small ones. But so yeah, happiness comes and goes, but joy, when we're talking about joy now, we're talking about the internal detachment to outcomes or things. We're talking about being content in the moment. Joy stays even when you're having challenges. So
Exactly.
it recognizes those challenges as opportunities for choices and growth and reflection, and all of these wonderful things, basically, that, like you said, we take for granted very, very much.
Right. And
So
also trust. When you trust,
don't you worry, I can do the
excuse me.
talking for both of us. So, like, recognize the moments where you have the opportunities, but recognizing those moments trains your mind to value joy over chasing the
Exactly.
happiness. That the happiness is temporary, sort of thing, but joy it's a
Exactly.
constant choice.
And it doesn't matter what you are going through. It's like you said, contentment and trust that everything is working out in your favor,
Hmm.
right? So you can feel unhappy and still feel like inner peace.
Yeah, I love one of the things that Mark Houghton says, and when he's talking about doing his affirmations, it's, why do I live in a friendly universe that is designed to serve me, sort of thing. It's,
Exactly.
why do I consistently have things to have happiness and joy, take happiness and joy in, sort of thing. It's a lot of, it's all attached, and it's all working around this concept. Um,
And
but
remember,
yeah.
so if you feel those ups and downs, it doesn't mean that something is wrong. It doesn't mean that you're not going to
Mhm.
receive what you want. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that things are not going to be and turn out in your favor, right? These are just emotions that you need to acknowledge and let them through you, right? So
Exactly.
the ups and downs, if you practice just being present and just being the observer of whatever happening right now, in time, you're going to shift your energy and you're going to feel like this inner peace. And no matter what you are going through, you will sustain this inner peace. So this is really your goal, right? Because
Mhm.
anything we want to accomplish in our life, why we want to accomplish it because we think we're going to live like a peaceful life, and we right, and now we have like we're going to have like a comfortable life or whatever, right? So this is your goal, so you can achieve this state of being before you achieve it on the external. And actually
So,
you have you have to feel it internally in order for you to see it externally.
this is true. So, I know when we're gonna have to leave here shortly, so Lamore, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you wanna add in?
Yeah, ups and downs, it's normal because we live in a world of duality, right?
Mhm.
The real key, it's not avoiding to experience those ups and downs, is to practice how to not let those ups and downs affect you, right? And
Long
affect
term.
your state of being. So it's all about the meaning you give it, right? So
Yep,
even though you experience something that looks like negative, you can always give it a different meaning, right?
exactly.
So your closing
Exactly.
line, Marnie?
I'm gonna bring it back to, don't don't live your life back here, and don't live your life, in the future, sort of thing. Both things are, they're, this is already done, this is to come, but it depends on the choices that you make now. This is where your power is, it's in the now. So don't
Exactly,
compare your life to
empowering
others,
you.
because comparison is the thief of joy. And we're all on our own path. We're all awakening, we're finding our way back,
Exactly,
sort of thing. But, Lamore's path isn't the same as mine. We just happened to cross. And right now
exactly.
our lives complement each other. So, yeah,
And another thing that you reminded me, if you want to know how your future is going to look like, look, where are your thoughts right now?
exactly. Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so
thank you for joining us,
thank you
everybody.
everyone
We
for
very much
watching.
appreciate it. Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for everyone engaging in the chat. So if you're watching the replay, feel free to ask questions and we'll be happy to answer them. So Marnie, thank you very much.
Thank
Let's
you
do a
very
little
much. And
hug.
if anybody, hold on, I got it, because I got to say, Lamore offers a free 30-minute clarity call. She does do the life coaching, and she's excellent at it, by the way. So if you're interested
Thank
in
you.
that, I know she's going to be putting a link somewhere in the description here. So let's do the heart.
Right.
Ta da da ta. Because we always do this. Ta da! Oh, that's perfect today.
Yay!
Check that out. Yay!
Perfect alignment. Marnie, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. We appreciate you so much, sending so much love. And we're going to see you in the next
Mwah.
live.
All right. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye bye.